Today I am at Columbia Mines Preserve. This is part of the Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge, I believe. I'm on the Boyd's Tree Trail right now, and I think this is part of a larger trail network. I believe there's about 8 miles of trail I'm going to get on today. We'll see. There are little numbered posts along here to identify the trees. Off to the left through these trees you can see there's a bit of a marsh, and I believe there's a boardwalk out there. So the trail goes off that way, the Boyd Tree Trail. This is the other trail I'm looking to go down, and we're going to walk out here and take a look into the marsh. We'll head up Trail 7 here. I believe this connects to a loop a little ways up here. A big spider web right there. I am glad I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and long pants. The deer flies are really bad right now. This trail definitely does not see much use. And right after I say that, we come to a nicely mowed section of trail. When I was looking at the area online, it looks like a lot of the trails are just mowed paths. And that seems to be what I have encountered here. I don't know if you can see all the dragonflies that are flying around here. I've reached the junction with part of Trail 6. So I'm going to come back this way, I think. We're going to head off this way, and well, we'll see what we see. I don't know if this qualifies as prairie like I was hiking through last summer, but this is really nice. If it's not, it's I guess close to prairie. We've got some nice tall grasses, some stands of trees and shrubs. I don't know how well it shows up, but there's a lot of moisture on these leaves. It's very humid out. The grass is wet. My feet are already soaked, but that's okay. It's all part of the experience. I should come to a road up here. There's a gate at the end of the road. It says there's parking out here towards, I don't know, the center of this tract of land, but I wasn't sure if I could actually get to it, if the gate would be open. So I parked down there at the trail I started on and decided to start the loop from there. This is indeed prairie. This is the Sky Dance Prairie in the Columbia Mine Preserve. Judging from the road, I'm going to say that it's probably gated at the end. The trail does go back that way, but it looks like it just goes back to the road that I parked on, so we're not going to go down that way. We're going to head out this way. Sprigtail Lake is just behind these trees. Hopefully we'll get a better view of it in a bit. It does look like we'll have a bit of a overview there. The trail I was just on came off of is called the Overlook Trail. But I think we're going to take a right here and follow the north shore of Sprigtail Lake. Well, so the trail does go this way, but it is only maintained fall through spring. It says it's open. I'm going to take a few steps here and see what we see, how it is, and well, it is definitely not maintained right now, but that's all right. So I'm down here on the shore of Sprigtail Lake. I believe in looking at the maps online that the trail actually goes along this tree line back here, but if it does, it is pretty overgrown, and I'm going to go back and see if there's a trace of it. If there's not, I'm not going to bushwhack. I will come back later this fall and do this section of trail, but we'll check that out. If there's nothing there, then I'm going to keep going down that road that we turned off of. So the closest thing at the moment I see as a trail is right through there. I come up here just a little bit further, and I am not bushwhacking through that. I have no idea what's trail, what's not, and I don't want to disturb anything that shouldn't be disturbed. So we're going to head back to the road and continue down the road, see where we go. Well, that was an interesting little side quest. Come up here, the other end of Trail 6 is just up here, and we'll stop up there and regroup, see what the plan is. Here's the other end of the Overlook Trail. If we go up straight, it will connect with Trail 7 up there. The road goes down here. It says there's parking down here in this general direction, and I can see a lake. So we're going to go down there, because I think if I had followed Trail 8, which is what was back there that was overgrown, we would have gone off in this direction, hiked out in that area, and then come down this road and then up around this lake. All right, there is indeed parking up here. A little parking area. Let's see if we can find a trail map around here. Otherwise, I was actually smart enough to put one on my phone this time. All right, so I parked here and walked up here, then along this, walked up, and then tried to take this little trail along Sprig Lake, came back, and now we are up in the parking area just between these two gates here. I was going to walk around Turkey Lake, and I might still do that, but the other thing I wanted to do was walk out here around Massey Lake, Laura Hare Lake, and then come back. And I don't see it, but it looks like there's a trail that runs along this part of the preserve, and I'm going to check that out. But I think I will hike back this way that way along Touch of Earth Meadow, and see if we can get up there to Turkey Hill Lake and Paddlefish Pond, which are right here. So, all right, we're off to do that. If we look here, we can see that this is the Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge and Management Area. Oakland City is the closest town. We're right in this area up along here. I believe this right here is the parking lot that is right here that I'm standing in the edge of. I'm also looking at how straight the Patoka River is here. I'm gonna have to do some research. It looks almost like it was dredged for a canal, or it's an old canal or something, because it certainly is different from down here. No river flows that straight naturally. This is Touch the Earth Meadow, and I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera, probably not well at all, but this whole field prairie area is glistening just from the dew. So I think I've had a change of plans. The road here behind me goes out towards the Paddlefish Pond and I think Turkey Hill Lake, and there's a parking area down there. I think I'm going to drive down there, mainly because I want to hike this area while I'm here. It is already getting ridiculously hot, and so I'm probably just going to drive down there, park in the parking area there, and I'll just do a real short hike there. Copperbelly Path. This is not hunting season, so I don't need hunter's orange. This is the Massey Lake Trail. It says it's 3/4 of a mile long. We're going to head out this way. It looks like this trail is not maintained either. At least it's been quite a bit longer since they mowed it. When we come down here, it doesn't look like there's much of a trail at all. I'm just guessing where the trail goes. I guess this is still it. I'm wondering if these trails are maintained better normally, if budget cuts, personnel cuts have impacted how well and how often these are maintained. Well, this just looks like an old road, just based on like the growth patterns and everything. We're going to go up here to this big tree on the right and then probably wrap it up. If I come back here in the fall, we'll check this out for sure. It's pretty obvious nobody has walked down this path in a very long time. Well, not recently anyway. Well, here's that big tree. The trail continues on. It does look like the plant growth does get a little less, a little less tall. So we'll just wander here. I'm already soaked from, well, pretty much the groin down. because of the water on the plants. All right, the trail does continue down there. I am not going to go down that way any longer. I could continue down that way, but I don't see what the payoff is. There's a ton of horse flies buzzing around me. The path is overgrown. If there was a view or a dock or something out there, or if I knew there was, I might feel a little differently, but I'm not in the mood to do that. I believe that's Massey Lake right there. All right, we're gonna head down this way. I believe it said this is Trail 4. I don't know, again, if you can see the number of grasshoppers flying around here. Butterflies, not so many dragonflies. And just as I say that, I'm surrounded by dragonflies. Part of the trail is growing more and more overgrown. I don't think they use it much anymore. This is not Trail 4. There's just on the map that I downloaded, it just says Trail 4 and there's a number, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere. Down this road is the other end of Trail 1, and then Trail 2, it looks like, branches off and goes through the woods. The online map shows that the other end of Trail 7 is here and goes back to Trail 6 where I was. The map that I saw in the parking lot does not appear to have that. So I may be walking down here and turning around. That is a spider web that goes up that direction and then down here somewhere. That is the longest run of spider web I think I've ever seen. Here's the other end of Massey Lake Trail, and apparently this road is Trail 4. See, it is not maintained here, and I don't know if Trail 7 continues on that way anymore or not. This seems to be more or less the end of the road. I'm not going to bushwhack down there hoping to find the end of the trail, because if this end is this bad, even if it's down there, it's pretty obvious that's not going to be maintained. Found the end of that run. It comes down to this plant. I'm not going to disturb it. I don't know how well it shows up. Don't know how well it shows up, but somebody walked through here when it was wet. Given how hard it's rained in the area, it's probably fairly recently. Also looks like somebody drove down here somewhat recently. So this is where I hiked out to and turned around. The map I loaded online shows a trail down there, but I'm not going to try to find it. All right, we're back here at the Overlook Trail. There's a little bunny there. We're going to come up here. This does connect with Trail 7, and then we'll head back. So we're just skirting the edge of the prairie here. And we've got tree line off to our right. Well, it says Trail 7 goes down this way, and it is mowed. So I'm going to head down there and see. This is the way back down to the down to where I started. Well, there's my answer. Trail no longer being maintained beyond this point, and it looks like it has been a while. All right, here's the junction that I took earlier. We're going to backtrack here, get down to the level of that pond there, and finish up the trail we started on. Well, that has been the Boyd Tree Trail and Columbia Mines Preserve. There is a restroom at the parking lot there for the Boyd Tree Trail. Columbia Mines Preserve, I'm disappointed in. A lot of the trails are just not maintained, or not maintained right now. And it could be a really nice place, but the options seem very limited. So I'm probably going to come back this fall and see if the trails are open. But overall, I don't know that I could really recommend this place unless they open up more trails or maintain the trails better. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.